Responding to misbehaviors. It's a fact of life that all of us, adults and children, will break rules. Even when we plan, teach, and proactively work to reduce the amount of time we spend reacting to misbehaviors, we will not be able to eliminate all the misbehaviors. When misbehaviors happen, our goal as teachers is to first stop the misbehavior and restore positive behavior as soon as possible. The goal is simple and obvious, but the path to get there can sometimes be confusing, daunting, or just unknown. In this video, we will learn some strategies for responding to misbehaviors. Let's begin by comparing logical consequences and punishment. By definition, logical consequences is an approach used to help students recognize and fix their mistakes. It's a way to respond to a student's misbehavior respectfully while also teaching the student to take responsibility for her actions. Punishment, on the other hand, is designed to make a child feel shame and give perceived power to the adult. Punishments may stop the misbehavior for the moment but don't allow for a child to learn and grow from the mistake. We can use a variety of strategies when responding to misbehaviors. A few examples include logical consequences, problem-solving conferences, and teacher proximity. There are other strategies to use, but this video will focus on these three strategies. What are logical consequences? Logical consequences are responses to behavior that are respectful, related, and realistic. They are aligned specifically with what the child did wrong and lead to teachable moments. There are three kinds of logical consequences. 1. You break it, you fix it. 2. Loss of privilege. 3. Time out. You break it, you fix it means the student is responsible for fixing any situation or problem they create. For example, a student breaks a pencil, they will replace it with a new one. A student said unkind words to someone, they apologize and ask how else they can make it better. Loss of privilege is when something is taken away from the student. This type of consequence is usually given when a child is not following the established and taught expectations. It could mean losing the ability to use a material or not participating in a specific activity. An example is a student cutting his hair with scissors. The consequence is he can't use scissors for the remainder of the day. A student is sent to a room to deliver a message and you find out she went to a friend's class on the way. The teacher tells her that she has lost the privilege of delivering messages for the day. Timeout is a consequence used when a student needs a break from an activity or a space to calm down. For example, a student continues to yell out answers during a lesson. That student is sent to the timeout spot for a minute or two. Strategies for calming down should be pre-taught so students know what to do when sent to the timeout spot. Logical consequences are reactive strategies that are used when students break the rules and should be used when both the teacher and the student are calm. Problem-solving conferences is another strategy teachers use when responding to misbehaviors. Problem-solving conferences are used when one student is repeatedly making the same mistake or is repeatedly demonstrating negative behavior. It is focused on one problem so that the child can see the issue and see the success when solving that problem. In problem-solving conferences, the teacher and student need to work together to reach a solution to a problem. Follow these simple steps for an effective problem-solving conference. 1. Begin the conference by noticing something positive about the student. What are the strengths the student brings to the class? 2. Talk about the problem. Tell the student what you notice without judgment. Remember to keep your tone neutral, name the problem, and explain why it's a problem. 3. Invite the student to work with you to find solutions. Begin by exploring the cause of the problem. Sometimes the student will not know the reason. That is okay. Look for clues or offer suggestions that might be a reason for the problem. 4. Determine a clear goal to work towards and let the student know you will help them to reach the goal. 5. Together, generate possible solutions and choose one to try. Begin by asking the student if he or she has any strategies to try. 6. Check in with the student. It helps to set a day with the student for a check-in. Here are some things to consider when planning a problem-solving conference. Plan to have this one-to-one conference during a time when you can focus solely on the student. Have a positive mindset and believe the student can really change. Sometimes it can help to have the conference while doing something active. For example, walk together, play catch, color, or use Play-Doh. A third strategy is teacher proximity. This simply means to reduce the physical space between the teacher and the student as a non-verbal way to remind the student of behavioral expectations. When you notice a student off task or engaging in minor problem behaviors, move within 3 feet of the student, stand next to the student for a few seconds and then slowly move away from the student. This strategy is effective as the student knows the teacher is nearby and is paying attention. Responding to misbehaviors is a part of the job description when you choose to become a teacher. Remember to monitor, adapt, celebrate, and know that communicating with students about challenging behaviors is never one and done. This is a process about building relationships, paying attention to what is working, checking in with students, and celebrating the tiny successes.